Hey, welcome to the next video in the series called Get on Board the Forgiveness Cruise, the Journey to be Stabilized. Hopefully you've seen the first six. If you haven't, it'd be best that you did that before you get into this one. This one's going to be all about the principles of forgiveness, what's behind it, what's the understanding of it, how it really works, etc. But we went over six other videos to prep you to get to this level. So before we jump in here, let me just introduce myself. My name is Mr. Advocate, and I'm the founder of RiseToYourTop and your host to this video. All right, let's just jump right into the principles. I'm going to give you 12 at a time, or excuse me, I'm going to give you 12 in total. I'm going to give you 4 at a time. That's enough to comprehend and go from there. Let me set the stage for forgiveness, one more time, and make I think a kind of a radical statement to say that without forgiveness, there is no peace, justice, unity, freedom, and hope. I would like to suggest that without forgiveness, there is hate, there is anger, and there is revenge, and there isn't unity, there isn't freedom. It knocks off the hope, etc. So it is a necessity to forgive, a necessity if we want to be healthy within ourselves, healthy within our families, healthy within our business, healthy within our communities. It's a must. It's a must. To forgive. Okay. One thing I want to get out of the way is that forgiveness is not forgetting. Forgiveness is not forgetting, because there's an expression out there that says forgive and forget. And it's done some real problems to the concept of forgiveness, because people haven't actually received or given forgiveness. They have, however, forgotten about the violation that was done to them, or the violation that they have done, to somebody else. And that's been done through coping mechanisms. We have many coping mechanisms within the human condition, our systems, and we can block things out. We know we can block it out, and those work actually quite well. So those who have forgotten presumed they have forgiven, and that's just not true. That it didn't happen. So it becomes a problem if you start thinking, that because you've forgotten, somehow you've forgiven it. I've seen people over the thinking that they have forgiven, and then later on in life, when their power grid goes down, etc., their energies are lower, then that pressure cooker, that thing, that violation that occurred a long time ago, pops back up, and they said, "Wow, I thought I forgave." And I said, "Well, no, you probably forgot by using coping mechanisms." So we need to understand that principle and watch out. Actually, don't try to forget. Don't try to forgive, not forget. Okay, now these two principles here go together, and this gets into some tougher understanding, and maybe some misunderstanding that we've had, on forgiveness. And so I'm going to present two of them, and then I'm going to integrate them together. Okay. So the first thing is owning our flaws or depravity is necessary to receive forgiveness. Say it again. Owning or appropriating our flaws and depravity is necessary to receive forgiveness, and we must first receive, then give forgiveness. So what the principle here is that you're not going to be able to forgive somebody unless you first receive forgiveness yourself. And we do have an issue of sometimes trying to stay away from the fact that we are flawed, that we have depravity. We might use that expression, "I'm basically good," and then walk away from any self-inspection. Where have I hurt somebody else? Have I ever been angry before? Have I had any feelings of hate? Have I taken revenge? Have I physically violated, emotionally violated anybody? Even if it wasn't intentional, it still happened. But understanding that we have some flaws opens ourselves up to receive forgiveness. It's like that song that most people know called Amazing Grace. Now the writer of the song was very passionate about Amazing Grace. Why? Because he received grace. He knew he had flaws. He knew that he was had some depravity, and he knew that he did not deserve to receive any forgiveness, but did, and it was free. It didn't cost him anything. And so somebody would forgive me for my depravity and do it, freely. That's amazing. And it is. It's totally amazing. So seeing our depravity, receiving forgiveness is necessary to give it, because forgiveness is like sometimes major surgery to us. We have this open wound, we have a cancer and it's eating us, alive. And we're not going to go in with some type of a Band-Aid, to fix this. No, it's a major surgery. And we need unbelievable amounts of power. And we may not have that power within us. So when we receive forgiveness, it in itself has the power that's necessary to forgive somebody else who has violated us. That's no easy thing to do. If you've ever tried it, you know what I'm talking about. So we need this extraordinary superpower, if you like, and it's forgiveness itself to forgive somebody else. So receive first, then we can forgive. But to receive, we have to see that we need to be forgiven. And if we're don't see that need, we're never going to obviously receive forgiveness, and therefore we won't have the power to give forgiveness. So I'm going to stop right there, because this is, again, I found a misunderstanding that people have in terms of forgiveness, the power of it that's needed for it to happen. It's just not saying a couple of words, and all of a sudden this cancer that's eating us alive just disappears. No, it requires a major surgery, process to happen. So in summary, forgiveness is not some type of ancillary. It's mainframe. It's necessary. Without it, we're not going to have what we want in our personal lives and in society: peace, justice, unity, freedom, and hope. We certainly don't want to go into a coping mechanism. We want to deal with, our cancer that's inside us. Somebody just violated us, or we have violated somebody else and it's eating us, alive. We don't want to forget it. We want to deal with it. And then we must understand that we must first receive, and to receive, we must see our flaws and depravity. All right, so there's 4 for you. I would listen to this a couple of times, see if you can appropriate it, because the next 4 are going to build on these 4. So it's important that you get a hold of this and go from there. Well, thanks for listening to this. Again, I don't want you to go into thinking about your personal circumstances of violating or receiving violation. I want you to learn first, have an understanding of forgiveness, both receiving and giving, and then somewhere down the road, we'll look at your particular circumstance and how to help you. But let's leave this at an education level. Let's keep it in the third person rather than put I in front of it. So anyway, thanks again for watching this video, and look for the next 2 to finish off the principles of forgiveness. Then we'll go into the 10 steps. And I think that, again, from an educational point of view, I think you're going to enjoy it. I actually want you to enjoy it, even though it's tough. It's a tough subject, but I want you to enjoy the information for its own sake. If you would like to subscribe to us and be part of the team, I would love it, because it's encouragement to me, and I love to receive encouragement so that I can produce my 72 videos that I promised by the end of the year. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.